My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Integration was never designed to liberate black people. It was designed to neutralize black power. It functioned as an institutional pacifier, rewarding individual comfort, access, and proximity while quietly dismantling collective consciousness, collective economics. I like the way they put that. This is when your vocabulary is very good. I like the way they put that. Yeah, they've been doing this. I call it under the radar. Slowly and systematically, they've been dismantling, doing a lot of things. But I think after President Obama became president, and then that meeting they did, which I keep on mentioning in past videos, Hugo have highlighted and said that was like maybe before the pandemic, in one of Hugo's videos, saying that those business people who came together to do a business, and I forgot, I didn't finish watch the video. So that was where they were like, okay, we've been doing our objective, because they've been doing these things that we are seeing now in full, like on steroid. They've been doing it. But that meeting, they probably said, let's speed processes. F this. Let's just go and full blown and ramp it up. But anyway, so they never really take their eyes off of their objective, since slavery. Let's continue.
As a black person who grew up in predominantly white neighborhoods, I'm gonna say this: there is no building community with white people, because white people don't want you to be yourself. They want you to assimilate. They want you to be many versions of them and their community. They want you to show up in the world as they show up. They have a position for you already, and they want you to play that position and role, because that.
I remember when I first started doing videos about Harry and Meghan, there was an event, a picture, okay? I'm always talking about pictures and interpret it the way that I see it. And when I saw that picture, and I was like, look at them. They all are lying to themselves, pretending to be something, how much money they have and whatnot. Some of them may have it, but it's like the facade they want to create. I remember saying that in one of the videos. And the other thing as well, this is why they were telling Meghan to be 50% of herself.
Told, been given advice to that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was.
Wow.
That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Wow, I think it's...
Because she is beyond their level. The only thing that they have more than Meghan is wealth. But in terms of knowledge and way to approach things, Meghan surpassed them in that. So they can't compete with Meghan when it comes to intelligence. Let's continue.
That's what they do. I always say this on my page, that whiteness is about assimilation. Whiteness is about maintaining order.
Yeah.
It's about keeping face, maintaining the hierarchical balance. Like, that's what they care about.
That's it.
So even white people feel this. Like, this is why gender politics is so important to them. The LGBTQ is so important to them, because that is the only escape that they have from the white normatives. Other than that, they're expected to behave and perform and exist in a certain way in the world.
And this is what I've said when Harry was talking about when he first saw Meghan, the beauty, explaining in details in his book about the beauty of Meghan, the order. And I was like, this is exactly that. When you look at, I translated in terms of architecture, columns, and order. Your eyes is fixed. You know where things is going. I don't know. Go back to that video on PYTE. I don't remember exactly how I put it. But when their eyes is fixed, they know the pattern of things. They know when you're moving, where you're going, what time, and where you're moving, and all of that. So when people are walking, let's say you in Times Square in New York City, for instance, you see all those little dots. Let's say you're on top of one of those buildings, you're looking down. Everybody is like a little dots moving different direction. It drives them crazy. They want to know where each of these dots are moving. That way they could position themselves or whatever. I don't know why I feel that way, which is absolutely crazy for someone to feel they have to know where everybody's moving. But this is them. Okay? This is them. They want to know everything about you, where you move, how you move, when you're gonna go, why you're gonna go there. They want to know. Otherwise, it drives them nuts. Okay? So she's hitting some part of the things that I've said, but in a different way. I'm moving it back slightly. Oh my God, I'm stopping in between. I don't want to play it again.
Because that is the only escape that they have from the white normatives. Other than that, they're expected to behave and perform and exist in a certain way in the world. There is no freedom amongst white people. White people are not free. They're just not subjected to systemic violence, but they are not free. Are very much enslaved by the system of whiteness. So it's hard to be a black person, make community with white people, unless you want to be white.
Well, the thing is that it's the people who are on top. Okay, let's say the kings. I will not be surprised. Those kings in Europe and UK, they want to maintain that status. Okay, they're part of the problem as well. And so much is going on. So much is going on. This young lady is absolutely right. It's the order of things they want to keep and maintain. And their problem is with black people because, especially, Israel have already said it, their main problem is young black people.
Of the Israeli government holding a private convention here in the United States. One of the people in attendance at this secret meeting was Judith Varnai Shorer. She's a former Israeli consul general who was operating out of Atlanta. She was one of the main people saying that the biggest problem that they had was young black people in the United States. But don't worry, they've got some black leaders on the payroll.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
This was an Israeli government official who was saying this. Not some low-level operative or some rogue member of their diplomatic corps. This was a senior member of their administrative government who was saying this on American soil.
Because they cannot fool us. We have learned their technique, their stupidity. So the other groups have already fall for their mind, what would you call it? The psychology, the thing, whatever they have indoctrinated into other groups, they have already fooled these people. So they've been trying to get to black people in different ways and they cannot get it. So this is where their problem is. African American is the last group for them. If you look at what's happening in South Africa, for instance, okay, I don't know directly what was said for many black South Africans to turn against other black Africans from different countries to kick them out of South Africa. I don't know what was said for them to feel this way. Because if you look at what's going in Dominican Republic against Haitian, what's happening in the US, getting all the dark and brown skin and minorities out of the country, it's like everywhere you go, you see the same pattern. I'm trying to understand what was said in South Africa for black South Africans to feel they had to go that way, kicking out other, Africans from different countries from Africa. And then now they left. What we see, the streets, the shops are empty. So what do South Africans, black South Africans own? And I saw a tweet. I'm going to put it right after I finish this video. I saw a tweet where, the US, Canada, I think Australia they said let me pause and put it right there. I might have to play this video again. That young lady. Is this video I'm gonna share with you. I found it. I almost lost it because I didn't copy the links. Who's talking about Australia joined UK, US, and Canada advising not to travel to South Africa due to violence and instability. Black South African, better watch out. In one of the videos I did yesterday, I did say black South African, they better be careful to not let, especially when it's time to vote, because now they isolate themselves. What these countries want to do, okay, they want to send their people, their military people over there because they want to get to the other countries. So black South African just shoot themselves in the foot. Okay, now they isolate themselves. Now, guess what? When they're gonna say there's too much violence going on in South Africa, now the US, these countries, gonna say we're gonna send help. We're gonna send military to help keep order. You think that's what they want? No, they just look what's happening in the US right now. I didn't fully listen to this. I just went based on the captions. I'll come back to this. All right, let me start this all over. I am sorry, I talk too much. Let's play it again.
As a black person who grew up in predominantly white neighborhoods, I'm going to say this. There is no building community with white people because white people don't want you to be yourself. They want you to assimilate. They want you to be many versions of them and their community. They want you to show up in the world as they show up. They have a position for you already and they want you to play that position and role because that's what they do. I always say this on my page that whiteness is about assimilation. Whiteness is about maintaining order. It's about keeping face, maintaining the hierarchical balance. Like that's what they care about. So even white people feel this. Like this is why gender politics is so important to them. The LGBTQ is so important to them because that is the only escape that they have from the white normatives. Other than that, they're expected to behave and perform and exist in a certain way in the world. There is no freedom amongst white people. White people are not free. They're just not subjected to systemic violence, but they are not free. Are very much enslaved by the system of whiteness. So it's hard to be a black person, make community with white people, unless you want to be white. Like genuinely, unless you want to behave like white people, dress like white people, show up in the world like white people, it's impossible to make community with white people. And they will judge you and ostracize you for not conforming. There are penalties to pay for not performing whiteness, always.
And she is 100% right
That's
about
right.
the social assimilation. And that same exact assimilation is why black people are sabotaging our fight for reparation. We have to stop confusing romance with liberation. Interracial relationships are not going to structurally fix the crisis that's going on in the black community. You cannot sleep your way out of a generational wealth gap. You can't mingle your way out of redlining, systemic bias, or a justice system built specifically to target us. Physical proximity to whiteness has never guaranteed power, wealth, or protection collectively for black people. So the ones that be out here treating interracial dating like it's gonna heal the racial divide they setting a trap. That is assimilation. That is assimilation.
Okay, I say I wasn't gonna stop, but I came across some videos. There's this young lady who was talking about for people not to make kids with other race and all of that. And the key thing is love. If you having sex freely with anybody just because of the moment, then it's not worth it. If there's love and understanding and there's that connection, hey, you can't stop love. I never shared that video because I was so much in disagreement with that young lady. Maybe she's going through some stuff. She looks like she's mixed. Maybe it's her personal experience she did that video for. But like this young man is saying here, it's not gonna solve the problem. These people are sick in the mind. But if there is love, caring, all those positive feelings that you could share with your partner, go for it. All right? But anyway, let's finish with this so I could share the other one.
You want black people to assimilate. That is not freedom. That might be individual freedom for your coon ass, but it's not freedom for black people collectively. Real freedom, real sovereignty only comes from internal consolidation.
That's it.
Internal unity, black unity. Again, that means building our own independent institutions, keeping the black dollar in the black community, protecting our mental peace, and moving as a strong, unified political force. I know a lot of y'all gonna date who you wanna date. You gonna, say this, say that, but you gotta stop pretending that integrating our households is a sign of progress. That's gonna lead to progression. It's not. All you're doing is telling our people we need to assimilate. That's it. You're telling black people we need to assimilate to the status quo.
This part I'm a little bit in disagreement. He might have a point, but it comes with the core, okay? The core, what God has given us, okay? Love and understanding. Now, other people, like the racists, they manufacture, they are going against nature, what God has given us. They, the one who's manufactured. If you have two people who are in love and willing to build together, all right, and their respective things, I don't know, it could work. But at the same time, each one of them must understand where each of them came from. You cannot neglect one or the other. Because I'm looking at my husband's siblings, all of them. He has 2 brothers, 1 sister, and himself. All of them marry outside of their race. All of them marry outside of their race. And they're doing just fine. Okay, at the beginning, their parents had some issues, but the mom, even with me, had issues with me, but she understand. Oh, I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to explain this because so many people are going, all those negativity, the hate, the thing is manufactured, it's man-made. But if you're getting together with someone at a mutual understanding, love, caring, and you want to build something together, I think it can be done. And at the same time, because the black community have suffered so much, I could understand it as well. I'm from that. That must not be neglected. It must be taken very into consideration and to never neglect it. And each couple must understand their respective partner's background. You may not like the way they do certain things, but the respect must be there. It's the respect. All right? If something bothers you, it is up to you to bring it up to your partner in a respectable way and say, I didn't like this. I didn't like the way this was done to me. Address it in a neutral way. And this must be done before you get married, before you have kids. A lot of these things must be discussed before you have kids. And if partners want to go through that, and if the love is there, they will risk it. They will make the change. A perfect example, Harry and Meghan, okay? You see all the work Harry have done. They are the perfect example to go by. Harry wanted to be with Meghan. There was love there. Harry realized some of his issues. He went to get help. He fixed himself. And look at them right now. I don't see Meghan neglect. Well, she's mixed at the same time, but I don't see her neglecting her black background and her white background. She's just neutrally living her life and respect life. This thing is very hard to explain. And also, there are some people who literally are out there poisoning the mind, preventing people from getting together because of their sick understanding about human nature. They do not want people to mix, so they create division. So a lot of Hispanic, Asian, some blacks as well from Africa. Look, I mean, the US is the perfect example of what we are dealing with right now, because everything is coming to the surface. The issues that were boiling in the country, all of them are coming out right now in 2026. The understanding and respect and the history of things must be learned in order for us to move forward. I could understand African American, their issues, because they have been welcomed to everybody. And then majority of people, pretty much everybody, just spit in their face, took the advantage of their hard work and then spit on their face and then move on. But I could understand African American because they literally fought blood, sweat, tears to give all the other immigrants to come to the United States to the freedom that they had. And then you see the 2024 election just showed us many of those immigrants pretty much said they don't need that kind of freedom, even though they were running away from their home country to enjoy that kind of freedom the country has possessed. So I could understand the perspective of African American, why they feel the way that they do. I will never discredit them because I'm seeing the things that they are going through, and they work their butt off for the freedom that the country has had. But in reality, and also let me go back to that as well. And when you see what was happening, they're removing books. They don't want people to learn certain things, history of things. They don't teach people history. Why do you think they do that? It's to confuse those other groups that's coming to the United States. And they don't know the foundation, the history of this country the way they should have known it. And then look what just happened in 2024. They not knowing and not listening to African American, because the voice of African American, they don't own the medias and whatnot, and the others confuse the rest. I mean, it's a lot. I don't know. Maybe this year and from this point on is when any groups that wants to come to the United States, if they want to enjoy that freedom, they have to understand the history of African American. There's the battle that they went through, because every election, majority of African American vote the right way to maintain and keep the freedom that we have. There's one video I share in one of the videos I did yesterday. I don't have it by itself, where this guy was saying because of the FIFA World Cup that come to the United States, many of those people, I guess, who are on TikTok are talking about the food, the parks, the natural stuff, the things that is there for them to enjoy for free. He let them know that it's because of Democrats who vote to keep these things free.
I am just tripping at these people from Europe traveling the highways and byways of the United States, enjoying this country, right? Of course, they're all enjoying the food, especially the tacos, the barbecue, the Southern food, our ethnic food, which is like the best in the world, right? They're enjoying the parks and how big and beautiful and lush they are, the natural environment. They're enjoying the clean air, the beaches. They're enjoying the giant sodas and all that stuff. And you know what? I find that wonderful. And I'm happy you guys are experiencing that. And you know what I want to tell you? I want to tell you that all those things you are experiencing, you're experiencing because Democrats voted that way. And as a subset of that, most of the black people in America voted for that. Everything you're experiencing, everything, those highways, Democrats voted for infrastructure. We want that stuff to be good. National parks, we vote for more national parks and protected land. Republicans try to take it away. They want to frack and let corporations own it. You like the water? We vote to keep that water clean and pure. The skies, we tax our gasoline. You call it petrol, so that we can have clean skies and not have pollution and what you call London fog. We don't have that everywhere. Those beaches and access to those beaches, yeah, we make a law that the rich and wealthy and oligarchs can't make those private. Same with our parks. You can go to those parks for free, mostly because Democrats make it so. And when you go into those stores and restaurants and where you're shopping, those workers there, we put in laws to protect those workers and give them rights. And at every step of the way, Republicans oppose that. From healthcare to their wages, everything. They don't want any of that. So while you're here enjoying this beautiful country of ours, I want you to if you take 10 seconds to go, you know what? The Democratic Party is what made that possible. And the people that vote for the Democratic Party at the highest levels are black people. That's who. So welcome to the United States. Have a good time. Don't overstay your welcome.
Because if it's up to the Republicans, they want to build everywhere. There won't be any open space. There won't be any greenery. They want to frack it for oil. Everywhere they go, they want to extract and destroy the natural nature of the land. So it is so much more. But at the end of the day, if two people wants to get together, whether they are blacks or mixed or different background, it's good before you get married or even bring a child into this world. You have to understand each other's background and educate yourself and respect. You're not gonna know everything, for sure. You're not gonna know everything. But the thing is, approach everything with respect. All right? You may not know something you said may be interpreted different way in this particular person's culture. Bring it up to the person and said, look, what you said, it doesn't sit well with you because whatever the reason might be. Approach it and understand it and respect it. And don't repeat it again. So it has to come a foundation of love, understanding, and the respect must be the number one. Respect. People need to learn to respect. Because we have other groups who's literally teaching their kids to be hateful. I have shared these videos. I'm saying this because I have come across it and I've shared it in past videos. All right, so let's get back to the original recording. All right, but anyway, let's finish with him and then move on.
We get nothing like that. We need economic and structural power, not some colorblind ideology, some colorblind belief that, proximity to whiteness is going to save the black community. It's going to help the black community.
That's not
No, it's not. It never has. It never will. We have to protect our own.
That is true. I agree with him. Because of so many experiences, African Americans have opened the door for everybody, but they always turn against them. So that I understand. I understand very well. But that thing, the nature part of things, God give, when you're born, you didn't born racist. It was taught. This is the part that needs to be rejected. I've shared with you past videos where in Israel, they're literally teaching those kids in school when they come across Palestinian how they're supposed to behave. This is literally being taught. Okay? So is these people, I don't know how to combat this because this is pure evil. And then we had this Israeli came to the United States saying, who's their biggest problem? It's pure evil that's being going rampant here. And it's very sad. Other minority groups, Hispanics, if you're not white, okay, anybody who's not white, okay, who still don't get it. They trying to get close to proximity to white. They the one who are the problem. Because if they don't understand what is happening right now, it's a huge problem. If you look at after the 2020 election, There's a video that I have the thumbnails. I forgot what I said in it, but the thumbnails had a Hispanic, a Native American, and who did I? And a black person. Okay, I think I had Stacey Abrams, the actress, and a random Native American I put on the cover. And I said, these were the groups that helps Biden get into office. And guess what happened in 2024 election? I'm telling you, they watched my video. They went into that minority and they divide the minority. The group that got Biden elected, which were the minorities, the whites of laser focused with their racist mindset. They are still laser focused to that. So in order for Trump to get in power, he went to that minority group and divide them all. And we see this is where we are now. And now what that Asian did, daring, okay, African American to not shop at the Asian stores, he just opened that extra, what would you say, that special lock that African American needed to refocus. He thought he was gonna do something to hurt us, but it opened a lock, the key to something that many of us knew. It's just that we never come collectively to do that type of boycott. We were doing it to Target and whatnot, but he opened that key that African American needed to say, this is what we need, because if this is the way that they see us, so he dare us, then challenge was accepted. And I think there was a white lady, Asian lady who went beyond what the first guy had said, and then African American just like, okay. But anyway, so that's that. I didn't go in the comment. I think this, okay. How can we build and our black people act like this? Okay. What is he saying? Let's listen to it. And then I'll show you the other video that I was talking about South Africa.
Damn, I'm sure glad my black folks don't tell on me. I mean, I can literally commit a robbery, a carjacking, a shooting, and I don't even need a face mask because I know my black people got my back and they...
Oh, I don't know.
As a black person who grew up in...
Let's leave that. So this is the one that I was talking about. Okay, South Africa is suffering the blowback from xenophobic. Australia, the US, the UK, and other Europeans are telling their citizens to stay away from South Africa because of violence and abuse. African countries are also staying away from South Africa. No tourism money coming in. They don't say nothing yet. Just wait. I said it literally in one of the videos I did yesterday. Black South African better watch out, because what they just did here, get other blacks out of the country, they made them do the work for the white South Africans. And now these countries are telling their citizens not to go there. Now they're probably gonna send, similar to what's happening in Haiti, instigate, make it so dangerous. And now those countries who say their citizens not to go, they're gonna send military people to go over there, pretend they're gonna keep the peace, and then the blacks gonna be arrested, put in cages and whatnot, and then they're gonna spread out to the other countries. All right, so let's listen to her.
Australia has become the latest country of the Western countries to advise its citizens not to travel to South Africa because of violence. They say that there's high levels of violence and intimidation and attacks and robbery, and they're warning their citizens not to travel to South Africa. Now, it's not just Australia, it's also Canada. The US and the UK have warned their citizens that there is increasing violence on the streets of South Africa, and they're asking their citizens not to travel to South Africa. I don't think South Africans see how manipulated they are.
Yep.
So now, countries in the West have positioned South Africa as the violent country of thugs that just go around attacking people. And so they're asking their citizens, just don't go to South Africa because it's too violent.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Yep, they manipulate them. She's right. Now, this is Black South African have done phase 1 for them. Phase 2, they're gonna, send their people similar to what they do to Haiti, send arms and do all those crazy stuff. Oh, and I think there's an article that I put on my community board a couple of days ago about this Harris who got killed in South Africa or something like that. It's so much more. Let me leave that alone. Let me go to the next one. All right, this video is gonna have 2 parts, okay? All right, let me pause. Okay, Karmel Anthony, all white jurors are living in fear. All right. Karmel Anthony jurors living in fear as strangers are attacked and falsely accused. Okay, let me just let you listen to this and then I move to the next tweet, okay?
As a poet, I have to appreciate the irony in this situation. The jurors that found Carmelo guilty of murder are now in fear of their lives. They're afraid to go outside. They're horrified that they're going to be attacked. How fucked up would it be for you to be attacked for being on this jury and finding him guilty and not finding his self-defense legitimate, just for you to go to jail? To go to jail for murder because somebody attacked you because of the verdict you rendered and you were trying to defend your life, but you didn't do it the right way. You didn't do it the way that the system told you to do it. You just did it the way that your brain did. I love the irony.
Okay, did anybody
poet,
want to I'm gonna leave it as that. I don't know the full. I know of the verdict of Karmel Anthony, but I don't know what the juror. Let's leave it as that. Next tweet. All right, so let's listen to this guy. Everyone needs to listen to what this man has to say about Trump because it's all true. Straight up facts. All right, let's listen to that.
I have never cared about politics in my whole life. What Trump is doing in the United States of America and the citizens is absolutely unacceptable. It won't affect me. I don't even give a shit. I'll be fine. But for the average American that has struggles every day, somebody in their family's sick, they're sick, they lost a job, they lost health care, Trump absolutely is pissing on the heads and in the face of every American. He has stolen more money and will steal more money by the time he gets out of office, more than every president in the last 250 years combined. Congress should fucking be held accountable, and Trump should be fucking thrown in jail. This is an absolute fucking sham. What he is doing to the United States and to the economy will never recover from it. The consequences will be felt for the next 50 years. He is digging us a hole so deep with his fucking corruption and his cronies' corruption and his lies and his bullshit. I cannot believe that we're fucking having to deal with this guy. I have never cared about what a president did. But this level of corruption is so over the top. I don't know how in the hell Congress is allowing this shit to happen. The guy's fucking making stock trades and 3 days later he's fucking spitting out the ticker symbol and speeches. It's fucking abhorrent. He's disgusting. He's despicable. The guy is a lying, cheating pig.
Alright, so that's that. I felt like I shared this video before, but I have it on the list. Next tweet. Why do you support the decision by the New York Knicks? Declined White House invitation. So they didn't go. There was something I saw right here. Sure though, let's not forget about how their streak ended the night he decided to be a wet blanket and attend the game, screwing thousands of fans of the watch party and cheap seats. They don't owe him anything except a cold shoulder. Okay, the Knicks went 46 days without losing a game. They lost on the 47th day with the 47th president in the garden. Is this a coincidence? I wasn't really following the game at all, okay? But I'm aware of some stuff. But I didn't count the days. I know the first, the team that they played before they match up with San Antonio, they went all 4 games. And then they went 2 games with San Antonio. The 3rd game, they lost it. That's when Trump came. And that's the one that they lost. Okay, I was talking about something like that in one of the videos I did yesterday. About the stars were aligned, where Harry was in the same city, San Antonio, while he was doing the Warriors game. And the match was there. And it happened when the Knicks won. But anyway, that's that. I thought that was interesting. Next tweet. It's almost 6 o'clock. I need to wake up my kids. So this is interesting. The only time an elected U.S. government was violently overthrown was because white racists didn't want black people in power. All right, let's listen.
There's only one time in American history when the elected government was violently overthrown. And it was because a group of racist white men didn't want to see black people in power. In 1898, black people in Wilmington, North Carolina were running businesses, voting, and holding office. The city had a black alderman, a black coroner, and even black justices of the peace. But just 2 days after that election, a mob of over 2,000 armed white men stormed the city. They burned down the black newspaper, shot at black residents, and forced the legally elected mayor and city council to resign at gunpoint. And of course, those roles were replaced by white men who were more than likely racist. But the federal government never even stepped in, and none of them were arrested. Those white men really rolled up, staged a coup, and went on to run everything. And I ain't gonna lie, it sounds kind of familiar. But this is why the voting rights movement that happened years later is so important, to help maintain and enforce fair representation. I'm Alante Serene, and our latest episode of Melanin Mythbusters talks all about black voting rights and what's happening to those rights as we speak. So get into it.
So if you look our time before the 2024 election, I may have shared some of these tweets with you. Places in Florida, different parts in the South were preventing books. They literally took those books away from wherever they were in their respective libraries or shelves, you named it. There was a pile, a tent, and then a pile of books were there to be, destroyed. Now, many of these immigrants who come from different countries, who felt like they are closer to whiteness and they are against African American and all of that. This is why they don't want to teach the type of history with these immigrants, because they don't know how much fight African American had to fight to get those rights that many people took for granted. And now, 2024, many of them just vote to get rid of those rights. They didn't see it. African Americans saw it. 92% black women voted for Kamala. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. This is why they don't want to teach history. If you don't know your past, how will you know to move forward? So this is another video. All right, this I'm not even gonna try to read it. I'll enlarge it so you could see it for yourself when I'm editing. But right now I cannot see it. White suffragettes were also racist. All white people had been racist in history. All right, let's listen.
I want us to be very clear about Susan, right? Because she was a racist. Yes, for your comment here, she did oppose the 15th Amendment and was very against Frederick Douglass getting black men specifically the right to vote, because she believed as a white woman, she should have the right to vote before a black man. But what a lot of black men fail to realize is that their male privilege supersedes gender, right? Because white women got the right to vote in 1920, where black men in the 15th Amendment, I believe in 1899, were able to get the right to vote. But this is where I want you all to be very clear about Susan and Elizabeth, right? These particular suffragists that white women prop the fuck up. During their Women's March in Washington, D.C., they had black women, specifically 19 of the 22 members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, march in the back and in segregated sections of their women's march to appease Southern white women. And specifically, Ida B. Wells, which is why I absolutely love her, got out of the segregated line and marched alongside her white women peers of the Illinois delegates. She was like, I'm not doing this show and pony bullshit that y'all want us to do so that you can appease some racist ass white women. Frederick Douglass turned around and helped Susan and Elizabeth get white women the right to vote by 1920. Black women on the books. Black women were not allowed to vote until 1965. And you all are in my fucking comment section talking about, do not group all white women together. Do not generalize all of us. Y'all don't even know your own fucking history. You all don't even know that while you were out there trying to fight for your rights, for women, that you were still racist through all of it. We could talk about your famous Rosie the Riveter and how you all really wanted to talk about how women got into the field during the war and that they were able to do the manly jobs and whatnot. Mind you, even in time of war, they needed to sign bills for you bitches to stop being racist because you all made the black women work the more dangerous jobs. You all made them work the more horrible hours. You all put them in the more horrible conditions during that time. I want to make sure we're clear about why I said what I said about the white women, because I know my history. It's about time you all learn yours.
So that's that. I need to finish a couple other videos I want to share with you. Next one. Okay, so this is a graduation at Stanford University. The graduates walked out. Breaking: Stanford University graduates staged a walkout during Google CEO Sundar Pichai's keynote address at commencement Sunday. The walkout was organized by Students for Justice in Palestine and No Tech for Apartheid as a protest against Google's contracts with the IDF, Department of Homeland Security, and ICE. All right, so this is it. Let me go through it really quickly. They're walking out pretty much, okay? Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. Alright, so this is FIFA, and I think that's a Haitian flag during the FIFA World Cup. There were some images I was seeing during that match with Haiti and whichever team they were playing. There's some pictures of hand touching ball and they didn't call. And I saw a video where one of the referees making the white power sign. So I'm just staying away because I already know the odds are against dark and brown countries. I've seen videos where they checking bags of which South American country. I don't know. It's just nasty. All right, this isn't AI, my friend. There's that here. All right, this is the Haitian flag. Okay, I mute the video. Let me go through it like this so I don't have to put screenshot. Okay, so this is it here. All right, so that's that. I just wanted to share that with you. It came under my timeline. This is my last one. I just picked it up from another list while I was listening to one of the videos. Alright, so this is Ariana Grande. Conversation proves that we've learned nothing. Alright, so this is Jurors Fear.
I'm going to say this one last time and I'm going to be done. Because this is it. This is a period, no fucking reply. There's a reason why I use Michelle Trachtenberg as an example about what y'all are doing to Ariana Grande. Unless you're her primary care doctor, you do not know what is going on with her. And you are not entitled to know what's going on with her. This was one of the last few posts that she made addressing those who kept talking about her appearance, saying she had an eating disorder, claiming she had Anna, claiming she was dealing with malnutrition, claiming that she was on some sort of drugs. We didn't know what was going on with her until her autopsy because it wasn't our business to know. You know, in the Constitution, we are allowed the right to privacy. And if somebody is going through something, they should be able to disclose on their own terms, on their own time. Little did y'all know, even though that y'all were in this lady's comments, harassing her, calling her everything but a child of God, claiming she had every disorder and disease known to man, y'all didn't know that she had a whole liver transplant and that she died due to complications due to her diabetes. And the reason why I know that y'all are weaponizing the guise of concern, when in actuality you just want to be nosy. Because even if you go to her comments after she passed away and after everybody got the news, you got people still doubling down in the comments saying she should have said something, still claiming that she had some sort of addiction when she didn't have one. It is crazy as human beings how entitled we have become to think that we have the right to know everything about someone. And y'all are doing the same exact thing to Ariana Grande. We don't know if it's an eating disorder. We don't know if she has a chronic illness. We do not know because she hasn't chose to disclose that to us. But to presume that she has all of these things knowing damn well you're not her primary care doctor is out of fucking order. And it has nothing to do with being skinny because y'all just did the same shit to Money Long. Y'all forced her, after bullying her consistently about her weight gain, to disclose to you what was going on with her medically. It was not our business to know that this black woman was struggling with lupus. Well, Kenny, we need to know because they could help another person. There are so many celebrities that are dealing in public about their diagnosis who've done it on their own terms. Toni Braxton has lupus and talked about it and advocated on her own terms. But we need celebrities that are open and honest about body dysmorphia or eating disorders or Anna. We already have them. Lady Gaga has been very candid on her own terms, that part, on her own terms about struggling with eating disorders. And Anna, same goes for Taylor Swift. These people are advocates trying to help those who are dealing with it. And are they not bigger, if not bigger than Ariana Grande? And the only reason why I even brought this up to begin with, for those who say that they care or concerned, anytime you're dealing with any type of disease or disorder, as we know, because it's a disease, you lead with care and empathy. Because again, we don't know what this baby's going through. We don't know if she has a chronic illness. We don't know if it's Anna. We don't know anything because she hasn't chose to disclose it. But if we're going to have these conversations and use somebody as an example, how about we use the ones who have already disclosed what's going on with them? Let's not assume somebody has something and we don't fucking know when we're not their primary care doctor.
All right, so that's that. I was looking for a prayer. Come on. Let's see if I could put this here. Alright, so the prayer that I say is prayer for fairness and justice. Let's pick this. Okay, a prayer for true justice. Oh, Heavenly Father, our hearts are heavy, broken. Please give us eyes to see and ears to hear where your spirit is working. Help us to see every person the way that you see them. The way that you see them. Break our hearts for what breaks yours, God. Let us not merely say that we love each other. Give us strength to mourn with those who mourn, to weep with those who weep. Let your justice flow like waters. Let your righteousness and love flow from us like rivers of living water. Purify our heart, Lord, and fill us with genuine hunger for justice, for mercy, and for true peace. Heavenly Father, let justice and mercy start with me. All right, so that is it. Please, I'm uploading something. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. It's funny, while I was listening to him, I was reading a comment. I'm done with this video, okay? Where was I seeing the video? All right, let's go into it. I'm probably going to take a screenshot and put it on my community, but if I have the energy. Where is it? Something like this here. Okay, for what video is that? That's an old video. Wow, this is the smallest channel ever, so few followers. The funny thing is that Harry is desperate to get back into the royal family. You're going to look so stupid. Who did? Okay, I need to take my time to respond to that. Okay, so that's that. I need to wake up my my kids.
Can you see a day when you would return as a full-time member of the royal family? No.
What was it? If you look at some past videos, I think I reached for, I would have been so far. It's because of the thing that I'm saying. I know they're removing subscribers. I was close to, what do I have right now? 4,000. 920. I was close to 920. It went back to 4,911 and then 12 and then back again. I would have been so far. And if you look at my estimate revenue, if you think I'm there to get to bigger channel, these people are mistaken. Anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'm done. I need to get going.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.